Exhibition Road has an obvious importance to London. With its annual 13 million visitors, it is the focus for the three great museums, Science, Natural History and V&A, plus Imperial College, the Albert Hall and many other significant organisations. In the past, nothing in the appearance of the street suggested this significance. The space was full of parked and moving cars, and the pavements were overcrowded and tiny. The purpose of the project was therefore straightforward: to make the experience of using Exhibition Road memorable and pleasant, in a way that reflects its importance within London as a whole. There was an architectural competition. Ed and I found ourselves chosen and beginning to work on the possibilities. From the start, it seemed to us to be one of those projects that would never actually happen. There had been a poor track record of this kind of ambitious urban project in London. Think of the Embankment, Parliament Square, etc. However, we soon came to realise that there was a political and intellectual force behind the proposal, in the form of Councillor Daniel Moylan of Kensington, Chelsea. Daniel immediately took control and made clear his commitment to the project and the key topic of simplifying street spaces. Luckily, our proposals and his dedicated commitment lay in the same direction. However, it remains of fundamental importance that the project was led and largely funded by the local authority, the Cloud. Funding also came from Transport for London and to a lesser extent from Westminster and English Heritage. The proposition itself is simple: a treatment of the street that gives pedestrians priority over cars, known technically as a single surface. And I'm not going to go into detail about that idea here. I think it's best done in discussion. But in general terms, it rebalances the priority of occupation of the street in favour of the pedestrian by making a single space without defining pedestrian areas such as pavements. And the two cars and pedestrians have to sort of manipulate between each other. This is applied to the whole length, the whole half-a-mile length of Exhibition Road, using the graphic device of a giant diagonal grid to make the place memorable to visitors. The surface is finely crafted out of two colours of granite and beautifully constructed. The diagonal grid suggests random pedestrian movement and opposes the linear nature of the way cars move. Monumental lighting columns mark the middle of the road. The unifying neutral pattern allows the street to be inhabited in different ways along its length. Next to the tube, as part of the urban village of South Kensington, then across Cromwell Road, it becomes the foreground for the museums, and further up it is taken over by Imperial College as a place for students to meet. At the north end are the Royal Geographic Society and routes to the Albert Hall. The culmination is the connection to Hyde Park. There is thus a poetic transformation along its length, from city into country. So, is it a success? It certainly seems that people enjoy walking freely, sometimes 10 abreast. There is a sense of elation and enjoyment. However, it is a compromise. The single surface is not uniformly engaged. Traffic is directed towards one side, albeit limited to single lane in each direction. Does this compromise matter? The uniform surface and the diagonal pattern give a strong sense of special place. The pattern is robust enough to survive the odd parked car and the traffic flow. There is already evidence that most of the occupants of the buildings along the street have taken notice of the change. Many facades have been cleaned or painted to take their place, so to speak, at the table. This is how cities work: a continuous ability to react, to take part in a form of natural organic change as a response to evolving circumstances.